The worst thing that crossbows have done for the hunting industry is open the door for hunters to shame hunters. They've done some very good things for the hunting industry, but the worst impact that crossbows have made on the hunting industry is the separation and the negativity that it has bred within our own community. Hunters shaming other hunters for using crossbows is absolutely ridiculous. If you're somebody that thinks that a able-bodied hunter should never use a crossbow and they're taking the cheap way out, the easy way out, they're cheating, and you voice that and you bash other people for that, you are doing nothing for the hunting community as a whole. You are doing nothing but making it a place that creates and breeds discontent between people who have a passion and a love for the same thing because somebody's doing it differently than what you think is the right way or the way you should do it. It just, why are we doing this? As a community, why are we bashing other hunters? I don't, I just, I, For the life of me, I can't understand it. It does nothing good for us as a community at all, as hunters. And crossbows have done some positive things for the hunting industry. And if you don't see that, explain to me how these things that I'm getting ready to say are not a positive for the hunting industry. But by far, the biggest negative that it has done is created discontent within the hunting community. People bashing other hunters for using a crossbow. If you do that, you should be ashamed of yourself because you are doing nothing to help the community for a sport that is something that you say you love. If you love it, how can you be negative and not support something that has created more revenue for license sales, for archery permits, in state and out of state? Because people now are spending money that they wouldn't have spent otherwise to archery hunt because they have the option to use a crossbow. How is that not a good thing? There's nothing you can say to me that doesn't make that a good thing. There are people out there that shoot a compound bow that have no business going in the woods with a compound bow because they don't practice enough and they're nowhere near ethical enough to do it, yet they still go do it. And some of them might do it because of the shame that they will get for picking up a crossbow. Some people don't simply don't care and they're going to do it their way. And kudos to you. We need more people like you that if that's the way you want to go do it that way, regardless of what people say. But what we need to have happen is the hunters community not bash other hunters for doing something different than what you would do. If crossbows initiate more sales and licenses and more archery permits being bought for those states that have to buy a separate tag for archery in order to do that, how is that not a win? How is that not a positive thing to drive up the amount of money that is purchased of license purchases that which then feed conservation? Because 80% of conservation comes from license sales. So if license sales went up, that means dollars towards conservation also went up. How is that not a good thing? It frustrates me beyond belief how people will shame other people for doing something that is different than what they do. It We have to get away from that. We have to quit that. Support other people. If it's not what you do, who cares? It's the same thing as telling somebody, "Oh, well, that deer needed another year. Oh, I'd have never shot that one." If that's the thing you want to say, shut up. Don't say nothing at all. If you can't say something positive about a deer somebody else took, then don't say nothing at all. Revert back to Bambi, Thumper's mom. If you have nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing at all. If you're not lifting somebody up or helping somebody feel proud about the thing that they just accomplished, especially in something that you have a love for and a passion for that you do, how can you belittle somebody for doing something that brought them joy in the same industry or the same field that what you're doing? I just, I, I cannot get my head around that. I just, I don't understand how we can be negative towards other people because they simply do something different than what we do. If they are supporting the sport that you say you love, and what they are doing is supporting it, spending their hard-earned dollars towards licenses and stamps, and supporting the local sporting goods stores or even the chain stores, who cares? They're putting money into the industry. How is that a bad thing? It's not. There's nothing you can say that'll make me change my mind. And I wish there was something I could say to make you see it as not a bad thing. Because the negativity that it has bred is brings the biggest and by far from what I've seen in my opinion, the most controversial comments and discussions in the hunting industry revolves around that. Able-bodied people using a crossbow. Who cares? You don't know anything about that person's story. You don't know how much time they have to commit to practicing during the off season. You don't know what their life consists of. You don't know how many kids they have, what their job entails, how much travel they do. You know nothing. And some people, even though you can say, yes, well, if they wanted to do it, they'd put the time in. You're right. And there are people that do that. And kudos to those people. But you know what? Even more kudos to the people that know and see that I don't have the time to put in that it's going to take for me to be ethical with a compound bow or a long bow or a recurve. And I know I won't be what I should be and have the respect for the animal enough to know that and see that, acknowledge that, and say, I want to archery hunt still, but the way I can do it is to pick up a crossbow because for whatever reason, it doesn't matter what the reason is that they can't, won't, don't put in what the effort it takes to do it with a compound or a recurve or a longbow, and they just won't do it, can't do it, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But if they acknowledge that and know that I can go pick up a crossbow, sight it in, look through that scope, shoot it, and know I'm good, and that affords them time to get out into the woods, whether it be with their kids, their family, their friends, their fathers, it doesn't matter. If that puts them into the woods, that is a great thing. They are more ethical. They're not out there wounding animals because they can't do what it takes to do it with another bow for whatever that reason is. Whether it's lack of practice, lack of care, it doesn't matter. The biggest thing is that they acknowledge it, they see it, and they're taking the steps to be a better hunter, a more ethical hunter. And in that way means using a crossbow, which is totally 100% legal. Kudos to you. We need more hunters like you that don't care what other people say and they go out there and they do it the way that they want to do it and the way that they know will get the job done effectively for both themselves and the respect for the animal. So if you think that that's a bad thing, you're doing, and you voice that and you bash people for that, you are doing nothing for the hunting community that is positive in that. There's nothing you're saying that bringing down other people for doing something that way, whether you say, well, I'm just going to step on some toes or I'm going to ruffle some feathers. No. What you're doing is creating discontent within a community that you say you love and have a passion for. That's what you're doing. And there's nothing else you can say that changes that. It is exactly that. And there's no other way to describe it. Nothing. So let's stop being those people and let's support the people that are doing what they're doing the way that they want to do it within the industry that you say you love. So it just hunters against hunters is never a good thing. So let's help each other out. Let's pick each other up. Let's support each other. Positive comments. Again, going to go back to Bambi. Everybody's watched Bambi, right? Thumper's mom saying is the best saying, and you can apply that to this here. If you have nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing at all. Have a great day on purpose, y'all. Appreciate you watching my rant. God bless.